The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajudeen Abbas, has assured Nigerians the present administration's commitment in ensuring food sufficiency, scourge of hunger and malnutrition ravaging the country becomes a thing of the past.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to the inauguration of this very important House Committee on Food Security and Nutrition. The committee is very crucial to the vision of the House to be responsive, results-oriented, and effective in performing its constitutional mandate towards the security and welfare of Nigerians. Nigeria, like the rest of the world, is experiencing a food crisis exacerbated by climate change, rising inflation, and pervasive insecurity. Hence, the decision of the House to set up a committee that would be dedicated to fashioning legislative measures and actions to tackle the menace of food insecurity and malnutrition affecting our people. According to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, about 26.5 million Nigerians will be grappling with high levels of food insecurity in 2024, while the country is said to have the second highest burden of malnutrition in the world, with 32% of children under the age of 5 stunted or chronically malnourished. Malnutrition currently impacts 35 million children under the age of 5, among whom are 12 million that are stunted and 23.5 million suffer from anemia. An additional 17.7 million individuals are facing hunger, with 2.6 million children confronting severe acute malnutrition in 2024. Among women of childbearing age, 7% experience severe acute malnutrition. These figures may exacerbate due to the current food inflation rate, which stands at about 33.7% according to the Central Bank of Nigeria. Furthermore, the World Food Programme's September 2023 publication of the Nigeria Hunger Map estimates that 24.9 million Nigerians are in an acute or critical stage of hunger, categorized as an emergency, while 85.8 million Nigerians have insufficient food consumption. Among this population, 47.7 million Nigerians resort to crisis level or above crisis level food-based coping strategies. The above data paints a very gloomy picture requiring urgent legislative action. This is particularly so given that some of the causative factors are issues within the legislative competence of the House to deal with.
The Speaker disclosed this during the inauguration of the House Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, chaired by Honorable Chike Okafor. The Speaker, who was represented by the Leader of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Julius Inhovere, stated rising inflation, climate change, and others as some of the causes of food crisis. Says the committee would be dedicated to tackle the menace. The chairman of the committee, Honorable Chike Okafor, in his remarks, praised the leadership of the House for creating the committee to tackle food crisis, as it would serve a swift response.
It is with deep sense of excitement and urgency that I welcome you on behalf of my colleagues, members of the House Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, to this first inaugural meeting which we are having with you, who are considered as the critical ministries, departments and agencies and other stakeholders. My excitement stems from the fact that this is the first time in the history of a legislature in Nigeria that the leadership of the House of Representatives has thought it necessary and of course very expedient to set up a distinct and exclusive committee for greater legislative attention to critical interventions in the cross-cutting issues of food and nutrition. The creation of this committee, considered as quite apt, will serve as a swift response to the present economic realities, especially the current unaffordability of basic foods in Nigeria, arising from uncontrolled inflation and scarce means. The emergence of this committee very late last year is entirely a credit to the foresight and pragmatism of one of the most responsible and responsive leaders ever in the history of our dear nation, the Right Honorable Tajudeen Abbas, PhD, CFR, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 10th National Assembly, who foresaw this food and nutrition crisis today and responded with the creation of this committee. The leadership and entire members of this committee share a high sense of urgency as we hold this inaugural meeting with you, who are the stakeholders, for several reasons. One, the National Bureau of Statistics reported a current food inflation rate of 33.9% recently. And this is mainly caused by, one, insecurity, two, volatility in the exchange rate of the naira, three, high cost of transportation of products, and then climate change. Similarly, updated figures of the World Food Programme and Global Hunger Map currently estimate that about 112.3 million people in Nigeria have insufficient food to consume. This is more worrisome in the context of reports that most farmers in neighboring border states now prefer to sell their produce to markets outside the country to earn more than they would have earned selling them within Nigeria on account of currency fluctuation. In the light of the above, this committee deems it wise to propose the declaration of state of emergency in nutrition and food security in Nigeria to address the issue with the required sense of urgency and multi-stakeholder strategic participatory approach. The mandate of our committee can be summarized thus: to urgently arrest the growing food crisis and malnutrition, which have become a serious threat to security and national development, by examining existing extant laws, evaluating their effectiveness, strengthening gray areas, and adopting an impactful synergy among the relevant MDAs, which will translate to drastic improvement in food security and nutrition. We will seek to support and enable all relevant stakeholders to work with greater sense of urgency, clarity, and result orientation in the context of contemporary challenges and exigencies of our time through legislative focused policy and governance. The committee will also seek to galvanize national efforts, both federal and states, towards coordinating urgent actions to address this crisis. We also will consolidate on ongoing efforts to set up a national legislative forum on nutrition and food security, where we at the National Assembly will be interfacing with the leadership and relevant committees in the 36 states of House of Assembly to foster synergy in the efforts to tackle this urgent issue of national importance. Because the issue of food scarcity and nutrition deficiency is not only in Abuja. We appreciate the strategic role our partners could play in collaborating with and supporting the committee. This includes, but not limited to, the World Bank, the USAID, UNICEF, Nutrition International, GAIN, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Aliko Dangote Foundation, Helen Keller International, among others. We appreciate the opportunity offered by GAIN recently for capacity building during a bicameral legislative retreat that held in Lagos, and we attended. We look forward to more support from other partners in this regard and other activities the committee will come up with. Let me use the opportunity to acknowledge the good work currently being done by Nutrition Core Working Committee, the NCWC, under the chairmanship of distinguished Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadejia, the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Special Assistant to the President on Public Health, who is also the focal person on nutrition and the coordinator NCWC, Mrs. Uju Vastasia Anwukani Rochas Okorocha, my younger sister. It is our intention to vigorously pursue the creation of distinct budget line for nutrition in relevant ministries, departments, and agencies of government at the federal level, as well as pursue same in the 36 states of the Federation, working with our counterparts in the various state houses of assembly. This we hope to conclude in time for incorporation into the next budget, the 2025 budget, and I'm happy that the minister himself is here. Furthermore, in line with the presidential directive for ministries, departments, and agencies to set up a department for nutrition within the organization, I urge the following MDAs to do so immediately to align with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. Ministries of Budget and Economic Planning, Women Affairs, Education, Water Resources and Sanitation, Science and Technology, Industry, Trade and Investment, Information and Culture, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. We are working on a robust strategic plan to achieve quick wins, and we will involve strategic stakeholders that are here and more that are not here, including maximizing opportunities provided by ICT to improve the nutrition and food value chain in due course. Following from the above, and in our desperate efforts to achieve quick wins, just yesterday, 28th of February, this House of Representatives graciously considered my motion, a motion I took to the floor, titled Food Scarcity in Nigeria, Nutritional Dangers, and Urgent Need for More Government Remedial Measures to Address Food Shortages Ahead of the Farming Season. The House graciously approved the prayers and mandated this committee and the other relevant committees of the House to work in collaboration and with the active participation of relevant government ministries, departments and agencies, civil society organizations, private partners, and other stakeholders to convene a summit with a view to work towards the formulation of a comprehensive solution to ensure more legislative input for food security and nutrition for all Nigerians. It is my hope that working together, all of us here, we will achieve the above and more, all aimed at reversing this worrisome trend in the shortest possible time. Thank you all for coming. God bless you.
Comfort Olayinka, DCTV News.